Welcome to Butler Family Farm. Today we are going to do some housekeeping in the chicken coop. It's not an outside project to do today because see that flag? I can't tell you what the gusts are. I'll double check when I go back into the house. But in my chicken coop, it is not toasty, but it is less wind, and I'm going to work on this today. I know I'm not going to get everything done. It's going to be a tad easier because the chickens, as you've seen on the shorts, were removed from the property by a wildlife, if you want to call it. So it's a prime opportunity not to disturb them and to get this cleaned. And I will tell you, shout out to, spin you around. Shout out to Lisa at Yogi Holler Farms. Hold still. Let's see if we can do this right. Who posted, there you go, who posted an Instagram reel a few days ago, and I don't know when she actually did it, but she went out and cleaned her coop. Semi-cleaned it. She'd already been on top of it, not like me, but anyway, and her temperatures there in South Dakota were 38. So I thought, shoot, if she can go out there and do hers in 38-degree weather, then I can do mine. I think it's 46, but the wind is ferocious, and I'm going to do the inside part. So stay tuned for updates. I forgot my mask, so I'm going to walk back to the house and get one. I've got the truck running just because we don't drive it every day. It just needs to get started so it doesn't get dead. And also I'm running the tractor, so the timer may go off before I get back. Tools I'm using: a square shovel, chicken rake that I got a while back. I did a product review on it, but I'm going to use it again out there. And looking at what's going on, I think I'm just going to be getting one side done, the side that I started when I did the product review. But I know I'm going to let it be a 2 or 3 day project, and that's okay. Okay, mask at hand, equipment turned off. I'm sure it's been 10 minutes running. I know 20 minutes, sorry, 20 minutes. What I'm gonna do when I cover the floors and stuff, I talked with Mrs. Beltloop 29, Tammy, and Devil Dogs Keeper, Jamie, and they both use, ooh, got dark in here. They both use horse pellets that are used in the horse stalls because it's kind of more of a sawdust, and as it breaks down, it makes it easy, makes it fun for the chickens to be scratching around. So I'm going to try and do that on the inside part. I think it probably gives maybe a little bit more warmth as well. Not that that's a problem now because there's no chickens to keep warm, but I think that's what I'm going to try this time when I do my deep litter clean, or do the deep litter. But anyway, I'm back in the chicken house, so I'm going to get busy so I have some content to show you. Progress content. Well, I'm running low on these big yellow salt tubs, feed tubs for cows, so I'm getting some of my 4 or 5 gallon Gem Shop buckets. I've got this bucket I can fill up, tote, and I've already got 2 of these out here, and that second yellow one right there is kind of heavy now that it's more solid. This one here has more air to it, but anyway, that may be a stopping point for me too, because I need Robert to come and dump these out, and he's with Jerry right now, so we'll see. And I'm not gonna, if the wind's like this when he gets home, then the buckets will just get filled, and we'll wait and come back tomorrow. Today's cleanup is done. I filled all the containers that I can find that are usable. It's 3 right here. Another yellow one is in here. And then I've got these 3 little white ones that are about 4 pounds wet. I don't know what they are dry. But my intent was to get half done. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit more because of the, I don't know if you can see them. They're mountains. It's really high. So that might be 2 days based on the weather and the wind is what I'm really talking about. Decent temperatures outside, 40s to 50s, and no wind, so that we can get this stuff dumped out. But I think I'm good to go for right now, so tomorrow we'll do some more. I'm not sure where I'm at in my video, because this video is actually covered several days with gaps in between me being out here and work. But I pretty much have this inside part cleaned out. I am going to clean out the nest boxes and put some fresh shavings in here. I'll do that when my new chickens come, but I will get them cleaned out so they can air out. And there is a local feed store close by that has diatomaceous earth in small quantities, so I'm going to get some of that for the nest boxes as well. So today's workload is to free up some of these buckets, and I had an idea of where I can dump them even closer than what I did before, and to work on this floor to get it down. It's got straw, which over time has compacted, so I have an additional tool to my repertoire today. I'm going to be using the rock rake a lot, as well as my flat shovel. It's not rounded, it's square. And my idea is to take the buckets of chicken stuff and use it and top off this bed out here and put some on my elderberry plants. So I'm not going to have this run as I do it, but I will do periodic takes to see my progress. My plan is to get this porch cleaned off before the Texan game today. This side of the porch is clean down to the wood. This part of it over here has been quote unquote cemented in a sense. It's dirt, chicken stuff. The feeder was right here hanging on this hook, so there was spillage and crumbs and all that kind of stuff. And so it's hardened up, and I'm going to have to probably get the pick out here to help break it up some. But most of the loose stuff, except for along the sideboards there, is gone. There was a buildup. Go in the shadow here. There was a buildup in this area here that I just hand picked out with this little guy right here. I don't know that it's here it is, the best tool to be using, so I may have to go look for a pick, or I could swing it a little bit more. But for small areas, I think this will work, so I'm going to keep it out here. But that's where I'm at. I've got the loose stuff all off this one, the north side, and I decided to use some of it out here in the dusting areas that the previous chickens used, and let it get worked into the ground a little bit more. And thinking maybe of putting some type of seed out here in the spring, I don't know, and fence off part of it to let the chickens have some extra roughage. So that's just a little 2-minute update. Just taking a small break away from shoveling, and I'm going to do some cobweb cleanup in my corners, in the roofing and whatever. And then I'll go back quite a bit in here. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of dark, but there's a good one hanging there. I want to get all that, get it off with my broom. I'm pretty much cobweb free. I did get my corners and baseboards swept out pretty good. And so I am pretty happy with how this turned out, due to my neglect of it for such a long time. These could be cleaned up a little bit better, and I'll probably do that when I take out the shavings that I currently have in the nest box. The only other thing to do in here is to cut these wires off. This was a fly catcher deal with the 2-liter bottles, and Robert put these out here, I guess, because I don't know. I don't know what his thinking was behind it, but when they're not being used, I run into them all the time. So I'm going to cut them out. If I do a fly catcher deal out here this spring, summer, I will use the rafters, which is where I think I intentionally want it. But looking good. Progress. Now I need to get a little bit hydrated and then tackle this floor. I pretty much have the porch cleaned off. There's a few places like in here. I can see them over here. You can see the dirt. And I'll come back out. Not today, I don't think. But maybe tomorrow. I got to still sweep the front, get all this stuff off of the floorboards. I want to take this orange piece of canvas down, and I'm going to redo it the way I really want it done. And that'll be another video. And I still have sweeping of the cobwebs and stuff. So just, maybe another 30 minutes or so, but it's as good as it's going to get today. A little bit more, I guess another 30 minutes, and then we'll be done with this video. Hello friends, this is day 4 of my coop cleaning. It is also New Year's Day, so happy New Year's to everybody, and hope you got some good goals set and have a very successful year. That's my plan to do, have a successful year. So day 4 was to finish up cleaning the porch, which I've done that. I've swept it all out. But in talking to Jerry about what to use for flooring, so I don't really want to use the hay and the straw. It just, the hay or straw, when it gets wet and dirt and the dirt gets in there, then it gets caked, and it's really a hard thing to clean up. And the chickens do spend a lot of time out there. Once they come out of the coop in the morning, they're out in the front where the water and the food's at. So if I wanted something simple, I talked to Devil Dog's keeper, Miss Jamie, and she suggested linoleum. However, the way our coop is set up, directional wise, it gets rain from both the south and the northwest. Every once in a while we get something from the east, but not too often. And so it would just make it more muddy and, oh, little bee, just as muddy and slippery for me to walk in and for the chickens. So Jerry says, use sand. And I said, well, where am I going to get sand? Because I really didn't want to go out and buy it. So we got a pile of sand out in the back where that small gravel behind the dog kennels. And he said the grandkids, when they were little and up here playing a lot, they, made a mess out of it. So, you have to work around it. And I said, okay. And he told me how many buckets he thought I might have to use. So I came out here, finished cleaning up the floor of the coop and all the cobwebs and everything in the coop porch, and then got my buckets, brought the mule over here because I'm not going to haul them over by myself, and they're actually too heavy for anybody to haul. And I started scooping, and here's what I'm working with. Here's the gravel pile, and you can see the gravel carries back over here into the sand, and then there's more gravel over here. So as I was shoveling, I was getting these big pieces of rock and stuff, and I really didn't want, like this, and I really didn't want chickens walking on it, and I didn't really want to walk on it. A lot of times I walk out in the summer. In the summer, I will go outside and walk barefoot. So I thought, oh, I need to find some screen, some wire or something to do some screening. And then I thought, oh, I need to find our gold panning stuff and shovel my sand on top of that, and then, you know, screen out the dirt. So, I mean, the bigger rocks. So I am still getting some rocks, and I can pull these out as I want over time. But they are small enough to where they're not, you know, going to gouge you in the bottom of your human foot. And I think the chickens could walk over on them. But anyway, it's a bigger screener. We have some smaller ones, but they're wired. I don't want to mess with them. This is working just fine, and it's screening out. So that's what I'm doing now, is shoveling up sand from back here in the back. It's still got, you know, gravel pieces, and screening it in this bucket, and then loading it into the back of the mule, drive over there and dump it. So I'm going to finish the screening, and I'll show you how I do that. It's not a big secret, but still, I'll show you. And then I'll carry forward, finish, get the buckets all, and then take it with me over to the coop. So here is the sand, and I put a couple scoops of it in here, and then I help work it through. We just do a little shaking and stuff, just like we did when we were panning for gold. So takes a little, maybe it's a little bit more time consuming, but that's okay with me, because I'm retired. I have lots of time. I think that'll be good. But see, these are the rock sizes that I'm getting out, and I'm glad that they're getting out so that I don't have to worry about my chickens. And then here's my bucket of sand. It's not totally full, but it's enough to where I can pick it up and not create a sore back. So on to the next bucket. I've got 2. Jerry thought I could get 4. I may have to come back for more. We'll just see after we get it loaded onto the floor. But I'll take you with me over there then. I'm going to pause for a moment, 5 or 10 minutes. Well, this is the end of my chicken coop cleanup video. Sun's shining over here on the south, so you can see I've got sand on the bottom, and I may need some more, but I'm going to just leave it as is. I put this flat rock in here, which is where I'll put the water when I put it back in. And Robert's going to move these wire hangers he made back to this point here, or somewhere along here that's not in our way, for the fly catchers I make out of 2-liter soda bottles. I'm leaving my chicken scoop rake out here because that's what I'll use to clean up out here on the porch. I've got my hanger. I did pull the orange cloth I had up on this side for the north wind and whatever. I want to redo it, do it the right way that I wanted to do it. That was temporary, but the idea is to have 2 T-posts out here and stretch that canvas across that will block the wind from coming from this is the west this way, and the north is that way. And I'm going to do the same thing over here for the south wind and rain that we do get. So the only thing that's really left, I need to put my horse stall pellets in here, and I'll do that just before I get the chickens. And I'm going to do shavings in the boxes, and I'll redo the boxes when I'm going to be getting the chickens. But overall, I'm very happy how it turned out. Yes, it did take a few days, but it had been a mess for a very, very long time. So I'm going to close the door on this video. Oops. So I think. And go look for my artwork one of my customers gave me. I think we put something up here, maybe here. I think she gave me 3 pieces. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope I didn't ramble too much, but that's how I am, so you know that. And I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching Butler Family Farm Channel. Give us a heads up, or not a heads up, give us a thumbs up, a like, and comment would be great. And everybody have a great day.